Hey guys, welcome to yet again to another reaction video. I'm your Lucky Luke, and today's one we're going to be watching Death Battle Blade versus Buffy. Marvel versus Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So, this is going to currently be the Halloween episode, and yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be understanding both of these characters. I'm not entirely sure, because I actually don't know, like, anything about these two. Only know that they are supposed to be vampire slayers? Like, hunters and stuff? So, other than that, that is literally all I know there is to it. And with, with me, we're actually going to be watching this with, a guest of honor. Want to say hi?
Hello.
Okay, hold on, let me just make sure.
Hello.
Oh, okay. Making sure my microphone was on. And yeah, so yeah, my little sister is gonna be watching with us today. She's feeling very happy, sitting with my dog or my son, on my bed, and she's gonna be watching probably on the big screen or the small screen. It depends on her. And yeah. So, how do you feel about this matchup? You probably don't know none of these characters, except for only that the who. Who did you think who he was?
Looks like Diddy. He did it. Why not? I mean, I can see the resemblance, but he does look like he did it.
I have no comment, guys. I have no comment.
Some people can they can agree with me.
I don't know.
Why not?
No, it's fine. It's fine. You have an opinion, but I don't know. I mean, you know what? Sure, we're gonna go ahead and say we have Blade, who looks like P Diddy, and Buffy, who want to say what she looks like?
Barbie.
Barbie. You know what? Why not? P Diddy versus Barbie. Why not? Yeah, so I don't know too much about these guys. I only know that Blade is from Marvel and Buffy's from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series. And besides that, that is really there is to it. Who do I predict so far? I'm gonna go with Blade for now. I don't know much about these two so far, so I'm gonna just go with Blade in the meantime. But besides that, that is I think that's all we can have to say. Do you have any prediction who would win right now?
None, because I know nothing about these characters.
Neither do I. That's why I asked. Just you want to go for like a random guess? We will predict once it
Barbie.
Okay, we'll go with Barbie. Okay. But besides that, yes. So right now, I predict so far Blade, and she predicts Buffy, and yeah, that's so far it, and we'll resume once it reaches to 0. Okay, and we're back. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire Slayer.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
So this is gonna be live action, just Not one of
they
those,
are known by
ones that
many
you see every day.
names. Revenant, Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the night is the one who can walk the day, Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now there's a man who doesn't file his taxes. Blade is one of the coolest superheroes ever, and basically kickstarted the comic book movie craze.
And yet, he is also seemingly the only one who knows or cares that in the world of Marvel, vampires exist. Seriously,
Really?
nobody talks about this.
Blade doesn't need anyone's help. He'll just aura farm by himself.
Even Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as the young Eric Brooks' mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before she gave birth.
This infused Eric with Frost's vampiric blood, turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes'
so they're gonna
training
use the
and
movies.
choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, kickboxing, Shotokan karate, and Hapkido. Add on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there!
Forced to murk
Guess
his
they don't
surrogate
care about
dad,
him.
Blade would have to wage his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's
Sorry,
got
what?
so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the brunt of his firepower. And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of glorious Nippon steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires,
God.
but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in comparison to the arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out. They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Men like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blade's even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had
Blah,
a daughter,
blah, blah.
Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's made a cottage industry out of whooping Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since he eventually made Blade the sheriff of Vampires, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shape shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and blow you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy Thing, let Marvel's vampires beware. For should they indulge their unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Okay. So that's a lot of
Today's
info.
battle is sponsored by Prize Picks.
Yeah, okay.
You know what's
wait.
awesome? Being right, especially when your co-host is always wrong.
Funny. But
I
on
don't know,
Prize
I
Picks,
guess,
being right
this
can
is
get
just
you
10
paid.
seconds
Don't miss
early,
the excitement of football season on Prize Picks, where
Sorry,
it's good to be
I
right.
already tried to
Like I
refresh
always
that
am.
thing.
You're just boasting because Prize Picks makes it easy to play. All you gotta
And,
do is pick more or
yeah,
less on at
it's a
least
lot
2
to
player
learn.
stats. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. That's it.
Prize
I
Picks
would
is
love
the
to make
only
it
app that
exactly
offers
the same
stacks,
thing, but
so you can
I
pick
don't-
the same player up to 3 times in
I
the
use
same
Twitch
lineup.
on
I'm picking
that.
more
Yeah,
on
Twitch
Josh
app.
Allen's pass
Usually
yards,
it takes
rush
like
yards,
10
and
seconds.
touchdowns. I
Like-
guess I'm just a positive thinker like that.
Well, I'm positive that you totally copied me, because I'm picking the same. You followed me on the
But
app
yeah,
and saw my
Blade
feed
seems
tab, didn't
very
you?
Powerful.
That's right.
I'm
And
surprisingly,
you can too.
he's
Download the
this
Prize
capable
Picks app
in a
today
Marvel
and use
series
code
for
DEATH to get
kids.
$50 in lineups
But-
after you play your first $5
Yeah,
lineup.
That's
That's it,
code
okay.
DEATH to get $50 in lineups after
You
your
guys do
first
that
$5
if
lineup.
you
Prize
want to. Their
Picks.
channel.
It's
I'm
good
not
to be
sponsored
right.
This, but you know, that's all right. Let's see if Buffy has anything.
In
against
every
him.
generation, there is a chosen one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness. She is the Slayer.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything. Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the savior of humanity. Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change when the Watcher Merrick appeared and revealed her destiny.
Like, total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slang, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school.
What?
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a
Arson.
new life,
Hooray!
far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that sounds like the Valley, all right. Along with new Watcher Giles, Wallflower Willow, part-time bad boy, part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games, comics, and 128 novels. Tens of thousands of pages of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it! When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by any weapon forged in his time, Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's
all
kung
those
fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling gun fire, lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and, Smash! Hard enough to tear apart a building.
I'm
Despite
sorry.
her
Wait,
lack of
you
armor,
mean like
she can
smash the
survive
building,
massive
not
explosions,
smash the...
like the one that destroyed Cephalian's lair that's
Oh, I
bigger
think
on the
I
inside.
understand.
She can even fight blindfolded. But if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly resilient to esoteric attacks, like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight and who don't fight back.
Made even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has dreamt of every battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young, a reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
Buffy sacrificed
Shut up.
herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul ascended to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence! This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battle for
That
48 hours straight defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the First Evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The Slayer safe.
It's actually a Bardiche.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
Containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat
What a
ancient
valuable
demons,
word.
the scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything. Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
all right.
as you know, it's
Let's,
Skeletober.
You mean
Yeah, okay. So, let's talk about it. How do you feel about this? A lot of stuff just happened. A lot of blood, a lot of weapons.
Yeah, a lot of information.
Yeah, it's complicated because we have
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It was like throwing information all the time, so it's like hard to take in. But I still think that Barbie's gonna win.
Okay. As much as I also want to go with her, I really, really just see Blade win this. I don't know why, but I mean, if Buffy wins,
Data through all possibilities.
congratulations.
It's time for a
But right now I'm going
live
still with
action
Blade.
death battle!
Oh, he didn't even mention live action, so yeah. I just think Blades just have still more arsenal and a lot more better tools to defeat Buffy. But if Buffy wins, congratulations, you get a W and I get an L. Alright. Let's see who would win. There she is.
We were kings, long before they had a name for kings. But now, starved, hunted, forgotten.
Okay.
You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours.
He's not gonna even bother even you holding him back. He's gonna uppercut you probably.
Feast.
Daywalker.
And she that's just the start.
Oh. Still going on! Oh. Oh god! Their aura is pretty much slaying all of the vampires. They're literally having a fight, like, they're fighting vampires as they're about to fight. You know what? Actually, you know what? They're fighting the vampires, then they're probably gonna fight each other. I guess that's what they're doing. Oh. Well, rip for the vampires. Well, he has to kill her now.
Wait!
Uh-oh.
She was just a kid.
Not anymore.
Uh-oh. Now they have to fight each other. Well, let's see what they got. That's Buffy. That's supposed to be her. Like I said, it's live action, so remember, this is the best appearance we got. At this point, I don't even really care who wins or loses. I'm actually kind of. You just lost his glasses.
You off your damn line?
Uh-oh. Doesn't matter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Amateur hour.
That was some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, careful about his glasses. You don't want to step on that. Damn, that's got him. That's right, the weapon doesn't matter how much her healing power is. That weapon's not gonna have. Okay. Sword fight versus a sword versus an axe.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
That's fine, though. Which weapon is better? Oh no, is Buffy gonna win? Uh-oh, Blade? Oh!
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
Damn.
KO!
Rip.
To be Blade tenured no longer.
To be-
I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's
Well,
many years of comic book
congratulations,
history,
I
he'd have
lost.
the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really?
Huh.
Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like,
Really?
sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles. A city over 5 times
felt like
larger.
you could've
You
won.
might be able to compare Blade to
Kinda.
Spider-Man like Miles, who absorbed a
I
bomb that
felt
could
like
blow
that
up Harlem.
Buffy was gonna
But
win
that's
after that
significantly
weapon.
weaker
I
than
felt
Whistler
that.
containing a blast that could wipe out
I
London.
just-
They could both dodge light beams,
just
but
didn't
that
wanna
doesn't
jinx
keep
it.
Buffy from taking
Plus,
the
I wanted
overall
to
edge
have
in
someone
stats.
lose.
Blade's
This is
used to
battle,
being
so
the
it's
odd
okay
man
with
out,
the
though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding
makes
her from the
sense.
inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on things.
The winner is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Congratulations.
Next time on
Alright,
Death
who's
Metal.
next? Who are these? That's Dante?
Subscribe and join as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Who's Dante?
He's like basically Deadpool, but he also has like, he doesn't break the fourth wall. Okay, well, this was a fun matchup. I totally accept my loss. I'm totally fine with this one. I mean, a lot of Blade fans are going to be disappointed, but you know what? I don't care. You know what? At this point, I just wanted to see the action and the entire glory of how they actually did the fighting style. So it's a reasonably okay. This was a nice 9 out of 10. Definitely worth a watch. But yeah, how do you feel about this matchup?
It was good, a lot of tension, but it was good. I really like it.
Felt like you were about to say something like, but like there was.
Yeah, it was good, I guess.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Is his name Buffy? Blade, no Blade.
Yeah.
It would feel like Blade never got hit. It was just Buffy.
yeah, he basically
Like undeathable.
like it kind of made sense.
hit
Like
with
when
his
you see,
head.
when you see like fighters, like characters that takes too much blows, they often either A has showed their their final weapon of scheme, just like wanted to bring it up. Like you could say, like here's the thing, Blade literally made her look like a punching bag, but when she finally brought her secret weapon, she basically took the win and
Ate him alive.
yeah, he made it alive. And I mean, yeah, it's reasonably okay. That's how this happened. And when I saw that axe went through his sword, I immediately know that was at the end for him. But I didn't expect him to get chopped in half. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting matchup. Now, the next one, I actually don't know much about the other two. I don't really know about. I mean, I only know about a little bit about Dante, only a little bit. But Clive is the only one I actually don't know at all. So this could actually be an interesting fight. Now, yeah, I generally don't know anything about the otherwise. Only know that Dante was versus a character from Super Smash Brothers. Her name was Bayonetta. You don't know her. You don't know her. But yeah, so yeah, Dante has like basically similar. He has like an amazing healing factor, and he's also skilled with swords. But Clive, I don't know much about him. He's from Final Fantasy, so Final Fantasy usually brings a lot of powerful characters, so that could be a thing.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Yeah, I'm totally satisfied by this death battle. It was pretty nice. Definitely was an interesting way how they did it. I mean, I'm okay with a live action, because the thing is, we haven't even got a live action. They haven't done a live action like for so long. I'm not sure when was the last time. I think it was Nightwing versus Daredevil, or was it Soldier Boy versus who was it again? Hold on, I'm gonna just see here. Who was it? It was not. I don't think Nightwing versus Daredevil was the previous one. I think it was it was Winter Soldier versus Red Hood. That was the one time they actually did the live action fight. Other than that, I don't think I remember any other live action death battle they've done for a while. So this is a good reminder they actually still have it. They can still do live action death battles. But this time they actually ended with someone actually getting But yeah. But that's it, people. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Thank you also for joining with us, Frida. And Rocky, who's sitting next to the door. I don't know what he wants, but I'm guessing he wants something.
I'm ready to leave.
Yeah.
Give me this.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching today's video. Subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed. And yeah, that is pretty much it. And we'll see you all in the next battle with Dante versus Clive, maybe. And yeah, stay lucky out there.